All right, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of quick commerce, it's now time for us to switch to our next exclusive conversation. And this is related to India's food delivery market. Well, that is poised for growth, and that's going to be driven by enhanced customer experience, faster deliveries, and value-conscious consumption. So I caught up with Swiggy's food CEO Rohit Kapoor on the kind of consumption trends that the company has seen for Xmas. What is the prep that is currently underway as far as the New Year season is concerned, and what are the company's plans as far as 2026 is concerned? Is there going to be more investments into the quick commerce business, and is quick commerce going to be the way forward for the company to drive the numbers? Let's take a look at this exclusive conversation that I recorded with Rohit Kapoor a little while back.
We have to show up when the consumer needs us the most. So for example, the only difference in New Year's, just to give you a sense, is from any other day, which is quite different, and is that the peak is very concentrated.
Right.
Like unlike let's say a Mother's Day or a Father's Day or even a Christmas, right, where you see orders balanced through the day. On New Year's, typically our past patterns have been that from 7 p.m. onwards, it just starts shooting up. So you have to really manage that peak load. It stays from about 7 to midnight, right? And it really shoots up. So I think all of us have to be there for, one, I think just the teams need to be there. Second, I think when the teams are there, it's important for the leadership to show up.
Absolutely. And what are the kind of preparations that you have in place to keep up with the pace of the kind of orders that you're expecting to clock?
So, there's a lot of work goes on behind the scenes. So, for example, working with all our tech partners, working with all our POS partners, working with restaurants, working on the delivery side to make sure that enough riders are available on those days. It's a lot of prep which finally shows up quite seamlessly on that day. But good part is that we have lived many New Years now.
Yes.
So the teams know what to do, and they've been at it for I think a month now, like prepping for it and hoping for a good New Year's.
You want to bet on a number?
No, but it'll be higher than last year, I know.
Okay. All right. So, Rohit, we also have to talk about, you recently came out with two reports, what India Swiggy'd in 2025 versus what India Instamarted in 2025. Why don't you take us through the key details of these reports? I was going through this report by Swiggy, and people are continuing to order biryanis. What is it that you ordered the most?
What I ordered the most? Let me think. I think it'll be maybe a toss-up between idli and avocado and sourdough bread.
Yeah.
That's my food, yeah. But biryani, look, I think there's a reason why, because we always talk about biryani in numbers, but there's a reason why biryani continues to be such a loved dish across the nation. One, maybe because there's no one biryani, right? Every region has its own biryani variant, and second, it's a complete meal by itself almost. Like, because it comes along with a little bit of mirchi ka salan or dahi, and you have it and it's a complete meal. Third is it's quite value oriented in many parts of India. For example, Hyderabad and all, if you find it's actually priced quite nicely, so people find it quite affordable. And last but not the least, I think it travels well. It's one of those dishes which actually travels very well on logistics and everywhere. So biryani is always a favorite, but it's not the only story, honestly. If you look at the Indian cuisines are going strong. After biryani, if I'm not wrong, the burgers come next, and then the pizzas, and there are those categories. But what's interesting to me, sometimes you see these large categories and you think that that's only actions there, but change comes slowly, but it starts happening. So in terms of the change, what we're seeing is certain parts of India, and this came out both in our data as well as the A.T. Kearney and Swiggy report that we did, is people are experimenting a lot in terms of just the kind of international cuisine they're looking forward to. There was a time maybe a few years back when we spoke in international cuisine, we'll say Italian, we'll maybe stretch to a Japanese and stop there. But it's gone beyond that. There's Korean, there is Ethiopian, there's Peruvian, there is all kinds of international cuisine which is experimented to. At the same point in time, I think and this is some bit I think because of social media, some bit because the entrepreneurial spirit of the restaurateurs always remained. You have Pahadi, you have Bihari, you have Goan, and all these cuisines are actually showing a lot of traction. Now they're on a small base, I understand, but the fact that the cuisines from different parts of India are not getting lost but are actually growing is a great sign for the strength of our food ecosystem overall, and also I think thankfully for the love the consumers are showing them.
Absolutely. And I have to say that I ordered a lot of idlis like you did yourselves.
11 million idlis got sold last year.
I was
this
a
year.
contributor as well to that.
That's the single largest breakfast item, I think. If I'm not wrong, about 11 million idlis, and that follows. South Indian cuisines are on breakfast the single largest by a wide margin.
Okay. So where are these orders coming from, and what does it really reflect about the kind of traction that Swiggy as a platform has seen over these past couple of months?
On food across 720 cities, there is not every city is growing. That's the broad headline saying. Now some are growing 2x of other cities, but it depends on two or three things. One is how rich is the food culture in the city. Second is a little bit to do with how economically strong the city is, because ultimately a lot of the consumption is driven by money in hand, right? And so the more people have money in hand, those cities we see a lot more traction.
Right. And what about Instamart?
Instamart has been going very strong. I think we're up to now 1100 plus stores overall. Had a terrific year over in terms of just I think not just the size but also the quality of the business. If you see the speed, the serviceability, the kind of assortment has gone 40,000 plus now, right? So it's no longer a lot of people who used to go to like other e-commerce platforms earlier now straight come to Instamart and say, okay, let me first look here if I can find it, and wide variety of things. So it's no longer a grocery play. It's what we hope to do has become very much a part of life.
Everything that you can find under the sun, you first tried on Instamart. But Rohit, you made a very important point, and that was about, a customer trend that you've noticed, which is that, people who are not able to find something on e-commerce platforms, they come to Instamart. Do you think going forward into the future, somewhere quick commerce?
I didn't say that. I said that people actually come first to Instamart.
Yes.
Right? So it's become a sort of a memory thing saying, okay, because it's available in 10 minutes. So
yes.
Unless until there's a great value add to waiting for anything, why will people choose to wait?
Absolutely.
You'll wait if you get either better value or you get a better experience or something. But if this product is going to be the same, you want it faster, and it cuts out one interaction loop.
And that is a natural way of progression as far as shopping habits are concerned. So would you say that going forward into the future, we will see quick commerce platforms growing at a much faster rate than e-commerce platforms, and maybe supersede them and maybe make them a little redundant?
Supersede, redundant, all those things I won't get into, because I think that's commenting on a sector I don't operate in. But growing faster than, yes, I think the category growth in quick commerce is probably faster than not just e-commerce but practically any category in India today, right? So that definitely is there now. It's already got to a decent scale. But the exciting part is that even at the scale it is today, the total addressable market there is just massive, right? And I think we are seeing one of the biggest sectors play out in India for sure.
Absolutely. Give us a sense of the kind of things that people ordered on Instamart, because you very categorically mentioned that this is not just about groceries.
Yeah, all kinds of things. I think from gifts to toys to clothing. One of the things which I gold actually on Akshaya Tritiya, okay. On any occasion where gold is considered to be an auspicious gift, there's so much gold being sold through Instamart now. And one of the things which I was very intrigued by, and this is such Indian habits, like, when on Holi, despite all the clothes that we have, we always struggle to find the clothes to play Holi in,
yes.
right? Because you say, kharab ho jayega, and it'll get spoiled. And it's a very Indian thing, like we always want to find that one thing we'll spoil and throw away. And we actually sold, I think, a bunch of t-shirts there and slippers. I remember buying, I couldn't find a footwear which I was okay spoiling, right? So I bought my slippers on Instamart. It came in 10 minutes. That's what I used for playing Holi this year. So I think the range of things that one can do is just amazing. My personal favorites are everything that my daughter needs, because she remembers her geometry box and pencils and paper and all kinds of school things last minute, and at 10 p.m. nothing is open. Now, thankfully, that's not a stress anymore because I just go to Instamart and
That's
get
what
it.
you also end up ordering. But Rohit, give us a sense of the kind of traction, especially that Instamart as a platform has received in the several geographies that you operate in. And if you could give us a sense of the kind of depth that this platform has achieved in those geographies, tier 1 versus tier 2.
See, every city that you're in practically, whether it's tier 1 or tier 2, we cover the whole city. There'll be very, I'll struggle to find areas where we are not present in those cities, right? Second is the assortment. I think assortment used to be, I think a year back, probably 7, 8,000, 10,000 in that range. Today we are crossing 40,000, right? That change is happening in just 1 year, where you have 40,000 plus and growing, right? SKUs available through a quick commerce platform in 10 minutes, right? The third is, and which is great because the consumer is expecting more and more. We keep hearing from our consumers saying, oh, why can't we have this also and why can't we have that also?
Right.
And frankly, love the push. So one of the things which, both on food and Instamart we learned is that gifting is becoming a big thing. So we've launched giftables in 2 or 3 cities, Bangalore being the first one, and I think that now it's in Mumbai and even in NCR. So we love to keep understanding where the consumer is heading, and as a platform, whatever we can bring to the table there.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Swiggy's Rohit Kapoor. He was having a conversation with me on everything that's related to Swiggy, Instamart. In fact, Rohit stated that expanding the SKUs